Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Cosmic Shadows, a deep dive into one of the most enduring mysteries of our solar system, Nibiru. Also known as Planet X, this elusive world has captivated conspiracy theorists, ancient history buffs, and astronomers alike. Is it a rogue planet hurtling toward Earth, ready to unleash cataclysmic destruction? Or just a figment of overactive imaginations? Today, we'll explore its origins, the wild theories surrounding it, quotes from experts and everyday folks online, insights from podcasts, and even a quirky pop culture nod. Buckle up, we're about to orbit the edge of reality. Nibiru first burst into modern consciousness through the works of Zecharia Sitchin, an author who claimed to decode ancient Sumerian texts. In his 1976 book, The 12th Planet, Sitchin described Nibiru as a massive planet with a 3,600-year elliptical orbit around the Sun. According to him, its inhabitants, the Anunnaki, visited Earth long ago, mining gold and even genetically engineering humans as slaves. Sitchin wrote, "Those who from heaven to earth came. They landed on Earth, colonized it, mining the Earth for gold and other minerals, establishing a spaceport." Sounds like science fiction? Well, for many, it's ancient fact, but skeptics abound. NASA has repeatedly debunked Nibiru as a hoax. In a 2012 statement, they said, "Nibiru and other stories about wayward planets are an internet hoax." If Nibiru or Planet X were real and headed for an encounter with the Earth, astronomers would have been tracking it for at least the past decade, and it would be visible by now to the naked eye. Yet, the legend persists, fueled by doomsday predictions that keep getting postponed, like the infamous 2012 Mayan calendar tie-in. Let's rewind to the roots. Sitchin's ideas stem from Mesopotamian mythology, where Nibiru was mentioned not as a planet, but possibly as a star or a title for the god Marduk. Wikipedia explains, the idea was first put forward in 1995 by Nancy Lieder. She states that she was chosen to warn mankind that the object would sweep through the inner solar system in May 2003, causing Earth to undergo a physical pole shift that would destroy most of humanity. Lieder, a self-proclaimed psychic, later linked her Planet X to Sitchin's Nibiru, claiming aliens from Zeta Reticuli warned her via a brain implant. The internet is rife with quotes amplifying this. From space.com, the story began in 1976 when Zecharia Sitchin wrote The 12th Planet, a book which used Sitchin's own unique translation of Sumerian cuneiform to identify a planet, Nibiru, orbiting the Sun every 3,600 years. Several years later, Nancy Lieder announced that the aliens she claimed to channel had warned her this planet would collide with Earth in 2003. After a collision-free year, the date was moved back to 2012. And from Answers in Genesis, Nibiru is a supposed rogue planet that is moving about in the solar system, soon to wreak havoc on the Earth, supposedly in line with biblical prophecy. Doomsday authors like David Mead kept the flame alive. In 2017, he predicted, "Our world will end when the planet Nibiru collides with us on September 23rd. Mead tied it to biblical numerology, but as National Geographic noted in 2018, Nibiru and other stories about wayward planets are an internet hoax, NASA said in a 2012 statement. If Nibiru or Planet X were real and headed for an encounter with the Earth, astronomers would have been tracking it for at least the past decade. Spoiler, we're still here. Even poetry gets in on the act. Paul Warren's poem, Science Fiction, Nibiru Planet X, imagines there had been reports of the Nibiru planet, as the Earth's astronomers observed it. The first report was that it would be a narrow miss. And on Quora, one user pondered, when it is well known that Planet X, as Sumerians called Nibiru, is approaching Earth, what should be the moral compass of our humanity? The web is an echo chamber of fear and fascination. But it's not just websites. Real people on platforms like X, formerly Twitter, keep the conversation alive. Take this post from user at ExclusiveAutos1. No evidence for a rogue planet Nibiru on a 3,600-year orbit, and claims about alien genetic engineering or gold mining gods don't hold up against archaeology, genetics, or astronomy. Skeptical, yet acknowledging the allure. Contrast that with @Kabamar_Teijida, who dives deep. Nibiru is irrelevant to disclosure. Pleiadians tell us that Nibiru was a Syrian mothership, not a planet, and it's never coming back. The entities formerly known as Enki and Enlil are confined, and their forces will be captured soon. Here, Nibiru morphs into a spaceship, blending ancient aliens with galactic federations. User at Terrawazizis adds a quantum twist wherever Nibiru, the radiant planet, radioactive, happens to be orbiting. Right now it's squished into the solar system's locale, but on a slightly different timing, but close enough to quantum tunnel through and wreak lots of havoc on Earth. Havoc via quantum tunneling? That's next-level speculation. For a more elaborate theory, at Quantum Tumblr posts, Nibiru isn't just a planet. It's the inverted harmonic twin of Earth, an opposite-phase version containing what we forgot. It brings collapse of old systems, triggers memory reactivation, causes field realignment through chaos. They even tie in the Vatican's Lucifer telescope, claiming it's tracking this mirror node. And as ZTF Guide describes, Nibiru itself is a burned-out red dwarf star that is the size of Jupiter and 25 times the mass of Earth. Nibiru has 7 major moons and a 14 million mile tail full of red dust, rocks, petrol, etc. that it drags with it. Right now the tail is occasionally swiping the Earth. Vivid imagery of cosmic debris raining down. Podcasts have dissected Nibiru too, blending skepticism with storytelling. On Those Conspiracy Guys, an episode titled Nibiru and the Anunnaki dives in. On this episode, we gaze skyward to the fervent theories of Nibiru, a rogue planet and elliptical orbiting member of our solar system and home to the Anunnaki. They explore Sitchin's claims, questioning if humans are the offspring of the Anunnaki, an ancient astronaut traveler from the planet Nibiru. The Skeptic's Guide to the Universe, SGU, Episode 750 tackles it head-on. Host Steve Novella says, "The one that's obviously been haunting me right from the beginning is this idea of Planet X Nibiru." Guest Fraser Kane reassures, "I've been wanting to ask someone, anything in that book, Death from the Skies, that scares you?" No, they dismiss Nibiru as fear-mongering, noting young listeners terrified by it. On NPR's Notes from an Apocalypse, Mark O'Connell discusses prepper Robert Vicino. "You cite some pretty strange beliefs that he has, including that there's a rogue planet called Nibiru that's heading toward Earth and might collide with it." Vicino, a bunker salesman, uses Nibiru as one of many sales pitches. And in the Naked Bible podcast, Planet X, Nibiru, never showed up. Why not? The answers involve both astronomy and sound biblical interpretation. They blend science and scripture to debunk. As we wrap up, remember, Nibiru may be debunked, but its myth endures. From Sitchin's ancient translations to modern X rants, it symbolizes our fear of the unknown cosmos. And how is Nibiru going to come back? According to believers, it's on that 3,600-year cycle. Sitchin predicted a return around AD 2900, but others say sooner, perhaps in our lifetime, phasing in as a harmonic mirror, sweeping through with its tail of debris, triggering floods, earthquakes, and a new era. As one X user put it, "The return equals now. The activation equals you." Whether fact or fiction, Nibiru's comeback reminds us, look to the stars, not in terror, but in wonder. Until the planets align again, good night.